Hello, kamusta po kayo? Magandang umaga. Here are the learning objectives of the first quarter under MELCS of the subject Earth and Life Science. Ito po si Mr. Ernesto D. Sibayan, Surnes. The first objective is recognize the uniqueness of Earth being the only planet in the solar system with properties necessary to support life. 2. Explain that the Earth consists of 4 subsystems across whose boundaries matter and energy flow. 3. Identify common rock-forming minerals using their physical and chemical properties. 4. Classify rocks into igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. 5. Explain how the products of weathering are carried away by erosion and deposited elsewhere. 6. Describe where the Earth's internal heat comes from. 7. Describe how magma is formed or called magmatism. Then compare and contrast the formation of the different types of igneous rocks. Next, explain how the movement of plates leads to the formation of folds and faults. Followed by, describe how layers of rocks, the stratified rocks, are formed. Describe the different methods, relative and absolute dating, to determine the age of stratified rocks. Then, explain how relative and absolute dating were used to determine the subdivisions of geologic time. Describe how the Earth's history can be interpreted from the geologic time scale. Then, describe the various hazards that may happen in the event of earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and landslides. Using hazard maps, identify areas prone to hazard brought about by earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and landslides. Identify human activities that speed up or trigger landslides. Then, using hazard maps, identify areas prone to hazard brought about by tropical cyclones, monsoons, floods, or ipo-ipo. Describe how coastal processes results in coastal erosion, submersion, and saltwater intrusion. Then, cite ways to prevent or mitigate the impact of land development, waste disposal, and construction of structures on control coastal processes. So this is the expected output for the first quarter under MELCS, again in the subject of Earth and Life Science. Make a research on the big one, a geologic hazard that your community may experience. So the next slides are the learning objectives under second quarter of MELCS. Subject is Earth and Life Science. 1. Explain the evolving concept of life based on emerging pieces of evidence. 2. Describe how unifying themes, the structure and function, evolution of and ecosystem in the study of life, show the connections among living things and how they interact with each other and with their environment. Then describe the different ways of how representative animals reproduce. Describe the processes of genetic engineering. Evaluate the benefits and risks of using GMOs. Describe the general and unique characteristics of the different systems in representative animals. Followed by analyze and appreciate the functional relationships of the different organ systems in ensuring animal survival. Explain how populations of organisms have changed and continue to change over time, showing patterns of descent with modification from common ancestors to produce the organism or organismal diversity observed today. Then describe how the present system of classification of organisms is based on evolutionary relationships. Then categorize the different biotic potential and environmental resistance. Example, diseases, Then availability of food and predators that affect population explosion. Expected outputs po natin for the second quarter, again under MELCS, in the subject area, Earth and Life Science. Search, number 1, search photos of Filipino people showing how they value life by taking good care of all beings, humans, plants, and animals. Second po, make a research on the products containing substances that can trigger genetic disorders such as phenylketonuria. Number 3 po, make a presentation of some diseases that are associated with the various organ systems. Then design a poster tracing the evolutionary changes in a crop plant, example rice or corn, that occurred through domestication. Then prepare an action plan containing mitigation measures to address current environmental concerns and challenges in the community. Again, this is Ernesto D. Sibayan. Salamat po.